Hello, everyone. Welcome to Peabolic Notes. My name is Michael Kirchin, and today is Monday, April the 18th, 2022. The video today that I'll be sharing with you is a very interesting one. It's a one that is going to be comparing Bitcoin to the DXY, which is the US dollar index. And there seems to be a direct correlation with the US dollar index going up and Bitcoin's price going down and vice versa. So before I get started, please just like to disclose that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing with you here is because I'm very interested in this cryptocurrency space. I'm an investor in this space myself. I do technical analysis, and everything I'm sharing with you, please double check with your own financial advisors. Before I get started, I will just share with you my computer screen so that you see exactly what I'm looking at as I do these charts with you. So I learned about this DXY, which is really the US dollar index, from two great technical analysts. They were from the market sniper, Mr. Francis Hunt, I won't say the right name, and the second great analyst is, or I should call technical analyst, is Benjamin Cohen. And both those gentlemen had done this in the last couple of days. I watched them online, and it really piqued my interest to see what's going on here. So before we get looking into this dollar index, I like to basically look at the definition. What this is that the DXY or the USDX is a measure of the value of the US dollar relative to a basket of foreign currencies. Which are the foreign currencies? They're basically these ones right here. They are the euro, which comprises 57% of the index. Then there is the Japanese yen, which is at 13% or 13.6%, the British pound, Canadian dollar, then there's the Swedish krona, and also the Swiss franc. So Swiss franc has the smallest composition at 3.6%, and the large composition is going to be the euro, which is at 57.6%. And this index was actually set by the Federal Reserve. It looks like they set it in 1973. And once the Bretton Woods Agreement was no longer used, once it was dissolved, they started using they set this index. The current environment that we have right now, if you look at really on the macro, we see that Bitcoin is still kind of in bearish market territory because it's still below its 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA. And of course, there seems to be this correlation between tech stocks and also Bitcoin, since they're both put into this risk on, risk off environment. Meaning that whenever the general market or the investors on the macro side, they're looking to, let's say, go risk off, or when they're trying to basically remove risk from the portfolios, they kind of seem to be maybe letting go of the tech stocks, and also at the same time Bitcoin as well. That's why we see this kind of correlation that whenever the Nasdaq Composite is having a rougher period, when it's losing ground on the stock market, it seems to have a direct or a correlated impact on Bitcoin as well. So that's interesting, and that's for discussion for another time. Obviously, the total cryptocurrency space, if you look at what it's doing right now as of today, it has been in a bearish market, let's say, since November of last year, when it hit almost $3 trillion. Now the total space is hovering at around 1.86 trillion. So meaning that we've seen this, I guess, kind of a bearish behavior, even though that can change in the future and in the near future, really. But for now, this is where we're at. So it looks like as if the total cryptocurrency space, it has been bearish in the last couple of months. Obviously, Bitcoin, since it still represents a large portion of this total crypto space, it's at 41% dominance, meaning that as Bitcoin takes a hit, the entire marketplace will take a hit as well. Now, what is this link with Bitcoin's price and this DXY index? Well, if you look at this DXY, which is really the US dollar index, this kind of shows how strong the US dollar is versus other currencies. And if you look at these, I will only be focusing today on the time periods which were important, because I don't want to be going at the minutiae of the details, but I'll be focusing on the important periods where we saw a massive move upwards or downwards, the DXY, and compare it to Bitcoin to see what Bitcoin did in those exact same windows. And then I think ideally what we'll do is we'll put it on this screen right here. That way I can show you what the DXY did and what Bitcoin did. So if I look at what DXY did in, let's say, in this period, I'm going back to 2014. The actual chart itself, it goes back many more years. But since Bitcoin doesn't go back that far back, really, it's on a chart with Bitcoin, we're probably going to be able to go since inception. It's going to be able to go to 2009 approximately. But on TradingView, it's going to be going. I'll be using Coinbase as my central exchange for the charting. We'll see how far back it goes. So if I look at what the DXY has done in this period, from July 2014 until March 2015, it looks like it was this parabolic move upwards. So we can put those periods, which are going to be let's make it right over here, which is June 2014 until March 2015. So it's June 2014 until March 2015. So that's one period. Then a second period that there seems to have been, and this one was a massive uptick, because it went from approximately 80 points to 100 points. So it went from 80 to 100. Now, if we go to another period where we saw a big move upwards or downwards, I'll make this one an important one. So basically, right over here, we see that it was at a certain point. It was at November 2015. It was at 100 points. So November 2015, it was at 100 points. And as we go forward until May 2016, it went down to 92 points. So May 2016, it went down to 93 points. So obviously this wasn't a massive move for the DXY, but still it was a negative move. And then at a certain point, it went back up. Then I'm gonna look at this period here. Let's see if I look at what I did from May 2016 until, which is right over here, until January 2017. So until January 2017. So again, for this one, May 2016, it was around 93 points. And as I see what it did on January 2017, it was at approximately 101 points. So basically, I'm just going to do maybe like two more, and that way we'll be able to kind of like look at these, look at this relation between what the DXY or the dollar index was doing and versus what Bitcoin was doing at those exact same periods. Then I'll be able to go for this. This one was a very bearish move on December 2016. It was at 103. So December 2016, it was at 103. And then over here, right about here, in February 2018, it was at 89. February 2018. So February 2018, it was at around 89 points. So so these are really, I mean, a massive point, because if you look at the index itself, it's if we go back to, let's say, from 2014 until today, it hasn't really varied that much. I mean, really, it's the variation has been from 80 to 102. Obviously, if I go back to our history, there was much bigger variations, because at a certain point, the US this DXY or this US dollar index, at a certain point, it was really as high as 162 points, and this chart goes back to 1968. So meaning that if you go back in time, obviously there was more variations, but now it seems like last couple of years, really since 2014 onwards, it hasn't really varied by an astronomical amount. And I'd like to also look at a couple more of these big moves. The next one that I'll look at will be, let's say, over here. So it looks like from March 2018, it was at 89 points. So March 2018, it was 89 points. And then what it did, then over here, basically in March 2020, it got up to 102 points. So March 2020, it went up to 102 points. So So obviously, those who know Bitcoin's prices, they can realize that we're already seeing some very important periods here, because if we do a correlation reversely, so over here, if I go to the first one, which is what DXY do from June 2014 to March 2015, they had this parabolic move upwards. And if I look at Bitcoin's price for those exact same periods, basically, let's look at this right over here. We can notice that I'm not sure if I'll be able to see it on this chart here. So my chart here, because I'm using Coinbase, it starts at 2015. So if I look at the first one, I won't be able to catch. But let's go to the next one, November 2015 till May 93. So over here, November 2015, Bitcoin was at approximately $320. And in May 2016, it was higher. So basically, we see right over here, it actually went up quite a bit. I mean, if we really mark it down so that I catch this properly, and we can look at what the actual moves were. So in November 2015, Bitcoin was right over here. I'll mark down the numbers. These are approximate, obviously. So in November 2015, it was approximately at 338. And if I look at what it did in May 2016, so May 2016, Bitcoin's price was right over here and was in range of approximately 596. So this one was a very nice move upwards. So at the same time that that the DXY had its negative run, Bitcoin has actually gained 76%. So this really works very accurately. So if I look at what's going on from May 2016, so again, I'm going to look at Bitcoin's price in May 2016. It was approximately over here. It was around 469. So here it was at 469. And if I look at what it did in January 2017, Bitcoin was right over here. It was around 886. So again, when the DXY so in this one, actually, it didn't work. So May 2016, until January 2017, the DXY had actually gone up approximately almost 10%. We were expecting for this exact same period, Bitcoin to have lost value. But if I look at May 2016, which is right over here, Bitcoin's price was approximately at 469, we'll put. And then as I fast forward to January 2017, this was not a good signal. So you see, this is the beauty about tech analysis, is that you can actually backtest it and find out where the problems were. So this one I'll put in red, not because Bitcoin lost value, but because this one was a false signal. If I do the same thing again, now I'm very curious to know if during this period, which was May 2016 to January 2017, I'm curious to know if Bitcoin was above its 20-week SMA and a 21-week EMA. So May 2016 to January 2017, May 2016 till January 2017, we can be right over here. Yes. So May 2016 until January 2017, Bitcoin was definitely above its 20-week SMA and a 21-week EMA. So what that means is that even though we had a false signal with the DXY index, would have still been okay because would have caught it with the moving averages. So that's great to see. As I go to this other period for the DXY, from December 2016 to February 2018. So let's see what Bitcoin did, because this period the DXY had actually lost value. So I would expect Bitcoin to have appreciated in the exact same period. December 2016. Yes, definitely appreciation, because you see here, December 2016, Bitcoin was approximately at 795, and if I go to February 2018, Bitcoin's price, it's a phenomenal parabolic run. it was at approximately 9,932 points, 9,932 US dollars actually. So what that means is that in this period that the DXY lost approximately 10-15% of its really strength, i.e. the US dollar lost 10-15% of its strength. At this exact same period, Bitcoin had actually gone up 11-fold. So this is a phenomenal cash for those who caught it. March 2018 until March 2020. If I look at March 2018, what the DXY did, I'm sorry, what Bitcoin did. So March 2018, Bitcoin was approximately in the range of 6,520 US dollars. And if I look at what Bitcoin did in March 2020, right over here, it was in the range of approximately 8,393. So 8,393. So during this period, March 2018 until March 2020, the DXY had gone up quite a bit, and this also seems to have been a false signal. So if I look at March 2018, which is right over here, the DXY was obviously the exact, we're not really looking at the exact days, so we're being pretty approximate here. But if I look at March 2018, I mean, I think it's important for me to look at it more in detail, because I want to make sure that I get this properly. I'll test this one really to the exact days. So if I look at the DXY March 2018, so we're going to see that let's get the exact days. So March 2018 is going to be right over here. Here we are. March 2018, let's put an exact date. It's going to be March 12, 2018. So it's going to be March 12, 2018. And the exact value that we're going to give to the DXY is about 90.09. So it's 90.09. And if I look at March the 20th in 2020, let's go fast forward to March 2020. And let's put an exact day. It's going to be at March 02, 2020. The DXY was at 97.61. March 02, 2020. March 02, 2020. And DXY was at around 97 points. So in this period, it had gained approximately, if we put percentage-wise, it basically gained 7 points. So meaning that percentage-wise, it's less than 10%, obviously, it's around 8%. And if I exact same period, if I look and see what Bitcoin had done, so March 12, 2018, March 12, 2018, which can be right over here. Bitcoin was approximately 9,137. And if we go to March the 2nd, 2020, March the 2nd, 2020, it's right over here. Bitcoin was at 7,893. Bitcoin was at 7,893. So if we look at this differential, it's going to be this minus this. So this is accurate. So basically, during this period, as DXY went up, Bitcoin went down. So I'm very curious to know also, if I go back to this one, if I had been more accurate, if I have done maybe a mistake there. Let's go back to this and be completely accurate, get this right. If I go to May 2016, so I'm going back to the DXY. Here we are. So if we go right over here, let's make it the perfect date. So if I go right over here at December 12, So I want to catch this where the DXY actually had gone up. So let's go to May 2016. So I'm going to May 2016. It was right over here. The exact date was right here. It was April 25, 2016. DXY was at 92. So April 25, 2016, DXY was 92. And then as I fast forward to when it got up to its peak, it was right over here, which was December 26, 2016, and DXY was at 103. So December 26, 2016, DXY was at 103. So if you look at this appreciation points for the US dollar index, the appreciation points was at approximately 12%. I want to see what Bitcoin did at those exact same periods. So I'm going to April 25, 2016. So it's going to be right over here, April 25, 2016. Bitcoin's price was approximately 445. And if I go to December 26, 2016, here we go, December 26, 2016, Bitcoin's price was at 916. So this was definitely a false signal because we were expected Bitcoin to have actually lost some value versus the US dollar because the DXY had actually gone up, and so this gave us a false signal. So the way we would have caught this one, and this false signal would have been by looking at the moving averages, because if we looked at this exact same period, how Bitcoin's performance was, as we recall earlier, when I looked at this, was between this April 25, 2016 until really this December 2016. Also, during those periods, we clearly see how Bitcoin was above its 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA. So this would definitely have been a bull signal for us. So this DXY indicator and its correlation with Bitcoin, I will keep this as a watch on my watch list, but it doesn't seem to be as accurate as what happens with the 20-week SMA and a 21-week EMA. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll update this channel with this indicator as well going forward if there's anything that's worthwhile to be noting. Thanks so much for watching, all. Bye-bye.